Zemlak and Kordic. This was the most predictable part of this hockey game, and Zemlak is finding himself quite a battle.
Somebody better stop him.
Oh, yeah, no contest. No contest. Well, now it's like last night again.
Now the Montreal bench is looking over across the ice at Bergeron, laughing at him, screaming at him, waving their arms at him, as if to say, Michel, you better get a guy bigger than that if you think he can handle Kordic. And Kordic's doing the same thing. He's blowing kisses to Michel Bergeron.
And the Canadian team knew they had to win by at least 5 goals to take the gold medal, and that was not going to be easy against the Soviets. From the opening face-off, this game was chippy. Almost every whistle produced pushing and shoving matches that threatened to get out of hand. But Canada managed to play some hockey as well. Mike Keane set up Theoren Fleury, and that gave Canada a quick 1-0 lead. The Soviets tied it less than a minute later, but Dave Latta of the Kitchener Rangers came up with a great individual effort, and this made it 2-1 Canada. Late in the period, the Soviets gave it away. And once more, it is Fleury capitalizing again. A great individual move, and Canada led 3-1 after 1. Canada was leading 4-2 midway through the second period. Then, a major brawl broke out. All 10 skaters involved. Surprisingly, the bench is empty, and everyone paired off. The officials finally gave up and left the ice. At one point, all the lights in the rink were turned off, but that didn't help either. Tournament officials huddled for close to 30 minutes and then decided to call the game. The final score, Canada nothing, the Soviets nothing. Both teams disqualified from the World Junior Championship. All previous points taken away, and no medals of any color for Canada.
In circumstances that were different, I think that if we'd been in 6th place and the Russians going for the gold, I still think their committee...
They would have played hockey.
They would have found a way to either have the game count or for Russia to get the gold medal. That's the committee room dealings in international hockey are very unusual. The decision on that game today would have been made by 8 people, plus Savetsky, the president. The 8 people each represent their country. So that Sweden is in there. Now, how are they going to vote? They've got a chance to get a medal if Canada's out.
Despite that, however, Eagleson feels that the committee had no other choice but to disqualify both teams.
The fact is that our players went on the ice. The fact is that they were involved in fights, and under international hockey rules, if you throw a punch, you're out of the game. And they didn't have enough players to finish the game. I think Savetsky had no other choice within the rules.
Definitely some pro potential out there.
McClellan. Is it McClellan and Coaster?
McClellan and
Yes, it
Coaster.
is.
Yep. They're 2 big tough guys.
Coaster's got that right hand lead.
He's got the right hand free, and down they go. Boy, this was Strauss. Joey Kocur with the right hand free right off the bat, and there you can see some blood on the ice already. It is McClellan. Look at that. My goodness. Couple of real heavyweights. Kevin McClellan, a tough guy in his right, and of course, Joe Kocur with that jackhammer.
Fight's breaking out. Gilbert is going to go with Kevin Hatcher at center. Hatcher and Greg Gilbert.
Ooh. Watch this big kid go. Look at the big 19-year-old. That kid's 19 years old.
Here they all come.
Now everybody jumps into it. LaFontaine, little Pat LaFontaine dumped somebody, and there's a scrum line if I ever saw one. Only 2 players standing. Now there's still only 2 players standing. Hatcher's back up, so is Gilbert, the original combatants. Everybody else is on their knees or on their back.
Well, they jumped in to try and help Greg Gilbert, I believe. The Islanders did, and Hatcher, who is 6'4", 207. He actually boxed at the same gym as Thomas Hearns in Detroit, is where he's from.
Going on, Tanby and Tikkanen. I'm not sure Esa Tikkanen knows how to throw any straps. In fact, I don't think his jersey is tied down on the back there. Tony Tanby's not known as a guy that gets a lot of penalty minutes. You can see Tikkanen didn't even tie the back of his sweater down to the bottom of his pants, or the top of his pants, excuse me. Both the same size, and they're going at each other pretty good here. I don't think any fists are closed there.
Not normally known for their scrapping ability, but they are having quite a tussle. Although I don't really think too many punches were thrown. It was more of a wrestling match involving Tyrion comes to a close. He wants to get more than
They're bringing this game, and you know, the way a fellow like Flett plays, you got to get this going. That's Pavis.
and Willie Platt.
You know, Willie has spent more time in the penalty box than he has on the ice in tonight's.
And Bruce Bell.
The bad part about this, Bob, is that Bellows could really hurt himself in this tussle here. Remember the rib injuries, and that can't be the easiest thing to do, is get yourself involved in a fight and not suffer the consequences.
Bellows and Bruce Bell will draw major penalties here.
Semenko and Otto flailing away. Otto goes down. And most of the blows being delivered in this altercation by Big Dave Semenko. I still think somebody let a teammate take a beating. Be interesting calls on the penalties. Dave Semenko did not dress against Vancouver. He's in a fight here. Hockey night. And they have those sharp sticks. Sorley and McDonald. Well, McSorley, who came to the Oilers from Pittsburgh, trying to throw some punches at Lanny McDonald. Now he's anxious to go after anybody. And Johnson appeared willing to accommodate him. Now McDonald gets back into it. Fogelin is there as well. Sheehy also gets involved. And there's Rydfrau and Tikkanen. Clearing off. McClellan is being held at the penalty box area by the linesman. See, that gives the Calgary Flames an extra man on the ice. Scrimmage and Otto and Lee Fogelin. That one may have been brewing a little earlier when the two collided in the corner. There may be quite a bit. Now we've got a scrap going on. Tim Hunter and Dave Semenko. Hunter and Semenko went into the corner. And we've got Coffey in against the boards with Bozak. Steve trying to get in there. Hunter and Semenko started it all in the corner. Hunter appears to be tough. And now McSorley and Satio and hold of each other. Somebody said the bucket goes. Now this is McSorley and Saplinski going at it. Satio gets the ball. Saplinski comes in. And we're going to see more players ejected from this hockey game. That can cause serious damage when you're down there. Well, Al McInnes is looking certainly assessed for that. Well, we have Saplinski and McSorley ready to go at it again. These have been the two main combatants. And they're going at it now. Leon Stickle tries to get in there and separate them. Al McInnes made in the... Oh, now.
With Kevin McClellan. Two number 24s, Peplinski and McClellan, and Peplinski with a couple of rights, and then McClellan with 3 or 4 good left. Oh, and now they're really going to go.
Well, I'll tell you.
Whew. Oh, and Peplinski really hammering away at McClellan. McClellan looks like he's just trying to get Peplinski down and
look out now. Look out now. Boy, you see McClellan come back. When he had Peplinski turned around, he wanted to get free and let him have it.
Well, that'll
deserve. Snap and President John Ziegler going in. We got the fight going now. Only this time it's Wendell Clark who decides to take on Kordic. We'll go to ringside, and here's Bob Cole.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Clark got away from Kordic after receiving a few knocks. And then somehow Clark landed 4 or 5 pretty solid shots on Kordic. And then Kordic came back again, and Clark faded away from his right hand. But boy, these are two guys who mean business.
Bench. We'll get to Reinhardt in a minute.
Kartner was trying to get to the bench, got in a fight with Tim Hunter, and then Kartner now is out of the fight, and the big guy is in there, Jay Caulfield, who learned all you need to know about fighting, I'm sure, from his split coach, Rick Dudley.
He's going to learn right now that Tim Hunter can throw with the left hand, too. You can see that Caulfield doesn't have Hunter's left arm tied up, and he's just hanging on for dear life.
Caulfield is a young man from Philadelphia who didn't start to skate until he was about 19 years of age.
You can see
Ron Duguay at the upper right of your screen yelling encouragement. He was for Caulfield. Boy, that's a big man Tim Hunter tried on, but I'll tell you, Tim Hunter has tried them all. He's big and small. Tim Hunter will try them all.
He originally, I believe, was going with Perry Cartner, and then Caulfield said, I need some fight time here in the show, and he jumped right. And in the corner, a battle breaks out with Perry Cartner and Lanny McDonald. Check it, it's Joel Otto.
It's Joel Otto. Boy, I'll tell you, there's a lot of frustration early on the part of the Rangers. The Flames really playing tight defense. They really haven't given the Rangers any breath at all. Otto simply choked Cartner off in the corner and wouldn't let him go. And boy, are the referees letting them go.
Two big fellas. Cartner, the 21-year-old, by just a day. And, of course, Joel Otto, 6'4", 220. And Portillo says, let me out there. At least I can referee it.
There's the ex-Golden Glove guy. The Flames got a couple of Xboxes on their teams between Portillo and Sheehy.
It's been a battle in the first period. And Shane Corson.
Well, they looked as if they wanted each other. Corson dropped the glove first and started throwing him. It took Marquardt a couple of seconds.